What I want to talk to you about today is the idea and phenomenon of social media and humble bragging. What we'll do first in this video is we'll talk a little bit about the experience that I had that made me want to create this video. Then we'll talk about marketing itself and how that relates to being viral and humble bragging in social media. Okay, so first off, I recently attended my first Spartan race event, and if you're unfamiliar with what a Spartan race is, it's an obstacle course type race of event. So picture gym class or the show that used to be on the air, TV show American Gladiators for times 1,000. So you're jumping over fire, you're crawling these obstacles, you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, just basically struggling to survive. Almost like the military or Navy SEALs type training. It's actually based on those, which I later found out. So you're doing all this, and these events are incredibly satisfying. I was curious why these events are so satisfying, so what I did is I went and did some research about why these events are growing so fast. Now it turns out this industry now makes $150 million a year. There's very, very few competitors in that space. It's an industry that didn't even exist a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Now the top competitor in this industry is a company called Tough Mudder, and Tough Mudder makes $75 million a year as of this year, and it's growing every year, almost doubling. So I went and did some research about why these events are so successful, and part of the reason I learned is because they appeal to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. So if you're familiar with this rating system of needs, basically somewhere close to the very, very bottom after food and air is hunter-gatherer skills and being able to survive, primal survival skills that we used to use every single day for thousands of years that we don't use anymore now that we are in a modern cubicle dwelling era, and we sit in offices all day and go on computers and type on typewriters or type on computers all day. So these skills that we used to have and these necessities aren't really brought to the surface anymore, so we have a need in us to go through these experiences. Now on a deeper psychology level, these experiences or these events also appeal to us in a sense of accomplishment. Once you're finished the race, you're given a medal, it's put around your neck, and you really have something to show for the trials and tribulations that you've been through. So these events, they appeal to your sense of satisfaction, personal growth, determination, focus, overcoming fears, etc. And it helps you to gain a sense of self-confidence. So that's one part of why these events are so successful. Now to talk about the actual marketing, when you sign up for one of these events, you can go as a group. And what happens at the experience when you go as a group is that you all have a story to tell or an experience to share. We're finding out in social media these days that more and more what's important is not the actual product, but the story behind the product. Now we can see this with some top brands. For example, in fashion, Calvin Klein, you'll see this in some of the denim companies. They tell the story of how the jeans are made. Having a story and a face to the brand. For example, also, Marc Jacobs, Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton, etc. So what we find is that when somebody is buying one of these products, they're in effect buying a part of the story and buying a part of the designer story that came with the product. You're not just buying the product anymore. So when somebody goes to a Spartan race or one of these types of events, they're getting pictures of these events and they're sharing these pictures on social media. And what they're getting is a story to tell about their experience and what happened. So that's another way that these are very successful. Now, how does this work with social media and humble bragging, which is the topic of this video and what we're going to get into right now? Humble bragging is a new type of communication. It's an empathetic form of communication that is much more appealing to us than just blatant advertising. Gone are the days where you can just post up something and put a price tag on it and expect people to buy it. I read a study that said we're bombarded with about 5,000 advertisements every single day. Subconsciously we see them, but consciously it's impossible to focus on this many advertisements. So what we do is we tune in, our brains almost as radio frequencies, we tune into the ones that appeal to us or that connect to us on an emotional level. Empathetic communication is a way of talking to somebody or speaking to somebody as if you understand them and as if they're part of your world. I'll give you an example of how this is done. Very often you'll see a musician on Facebook, they'll post up a picture of them working in the studio on their album. What they used to do is just say, new album coming out, here it is at Walmart, and a picture of it, buy it for $14.99. And we say, oh yeah, that's great, we go and we buy it. We don't do that anymore because we're just so over in data or bombarded with so much advertisement. Now what you'll see artists do, if you pay attention, is they'll post a picture of themselves in studio working on the album, and they'll say, working long nights on the album, in studio, really hard. It's going to come out soon. Hope you guys enjoy it. Wish me luck. And that type of communication is much more effective, and you'll see it'll get 100 likes or thousands of likes and comments. So what this really shows us is that if we want our social media to be effective, we have to think about how we're talking to people and the relationship that we have with those people and the story that we're telling them. It's such an important way to continue your growth with your business and your advertising. It's so important to do this if you want to be effective in your communication with your advertising and marketing. I truly, sincerely recommend this to every company, every client that I've ever had, any company that could be watching this video, or any person that wants to start their own business that's watching this video and get into the digital space, and all as well as print and regular marketing and advertising as well. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to do more of them and release them every single Monday. Be sure to subscribe. You'll see the little button pop up here. Be sure to subscribe. And you can also check out my website and my Facebook links in the comment section down below there. That's it for now, and hope you enjoy.